Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, we got to go ahead and talk about a few things real quick. Okay? I really want to get into what's going on with Miss Robyn Dixon and Juan Dixon, girl, because it is indeed a mess. Now, before we get into the video, please be sure to like the video if you have yet to do so. You're also welcome to subscribe to the channel. Now, y'all know Miss Robyn ended up coming out recently admitting the fact that Juan Dixon cheated, right? Well, before we get into those details and everything, I actually wanted to go back to an interview that Robyn did recently, and Karen had to call her out for deflection because Robyn pretty much said that Karen was obsessed with Juan. Girl, really? Girl, let's just get into that interview real quick. Let's check out that snippet.
That Karen said that Juan apparently is trying to knock on her, deliver something other than pizza to her door.
I mean, I think Karen is letting you all know who she thinks about every night when she goes to bed. I mean, the delusion, it's like obvious that she wishes there was a little something there. So
what were your thoughts on her claiming that Juan propositioned a threesome with Karen? She was so confident when she said it.
I mean, it was so funny because I didn't even remember, it was so long ago. We're talking about something that was said at the season 4 reunion. We're in season 7 now. And so I vaguely remember us, laughing and joking about a threesome at the reunion. And so I'm like, okay, I first of all, I know Juan, he's very playful. He is flirty. And I know that if he said whatever she said, he said to her, it was a joke. I just was just like, you sound ridiculous. She sounded like she's been sheltered all her life and has never had an interaction with, a friendly interaction with a man. And I was just like, this clearly was him being playful and joking, just about what just transpired at the reunion. And I just brushed that off. And in the moment when she brought up how he hugged her and she felt uncomfortable, it was still laughable to me. But when I watched the episode, I was like, this is actually borderline dangerous, because I felt like she was implying something that didn't happen, that just we shouldn't put out there. You've got Candace all mad about what Giselle said about Chris. And then you have Karen over here talking about, oh, he hugged me hard and I was uncomfortable. I'm like, we've got to stop this. It was too much.
There really was a buildup this season between you and Karen, of Karen really giving you a lot of little jabs that you even said you picked up on too. Did you feel she was coming at you a lot more severely this year than past years? And do you think why she might have been?
Well, I mean, it's funny, when we're filming, she's not saying all that nasty stuff to my face. She's saying it all behind my back in confessionals. Every time when I would see her in person, it was, oh, Robyn, when is the wedding? Tell me about the wedding. And, oh, she gives me the little veil. And, she was being nice and supportive. And honestly, in the back of my mind, because I know the type of person Karen is, I didn't trust it. But, there was nothing that was said to me outright and in my face for me to be like, for me to call her out on. And so when I'm watching the show, and it's every single time she asked me about my wedding, she had some nasty, smart remark. I'm sorry.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. She had some nasty, shady remark. I'm just like, it kind of proves what I was saying when I was calling her fake. Just pointing out how she's quite hypocritical and she says one thing and then does something else. And so it kind of goes along the lines with what I was saying. It's it's you just don't really know if the words that are coming out of her mouth are genuine. And I really mean that.
Right, so y'all just heard everything that Miss Robyn had to say about Karen, pretty much assuming that Karen thinks about Juan all day and all night, pretty much calling that lady obsessed and saying how she really wished that something was there between she and Juan. Girl, I guess, I mean, I feel like the only person that's probably that obsessed with Juan will be Mr. Michael Darby, if you ask me. Karen was just calling things out as they should be. You feel what I'm saying? Only for real tea to drop at a later time, Miss Ma'am, and only for you to go on to confirm. But before we get into all of that, honey, let's get into this tweet that Miss Karen ended up putting out, calling Robyn out for her deflection. Karen says the deflection is an admittance of guilt. You don't have to interview just because they ask you, especially when everyone knows you sound delusional given the current temperature in your own world. Just shh. Hashtag RHOP, hashtag Robyn. And girl, now she done spelled Robyn name with the I and not the Y. Hilarious. Okay, so Robyn, you know that she's talking directly to you, Miss Ma'am. And I think she had a point. Like, girl, you didn't have to do that interview. You chose to do that interview. And I wish that you would not have done the interview because personally, to me, you made yourself look like a fool. You've been making yourself look like a fool for a very long periodically time, if you ask me. But you also sat up there and made it seem like, oh, I know Juan. He's playful. He jokes. He does this. He does that. Only for a few days later, honey, for you to come out and confirm that whatever this little side chick done put out here about your man was indeed true. So let's go ahead and switch gears and let's get into that. Now, just last week, y'all know I came to y'all with some tea about the whole situation regarding Miss Robyn, okay? According to a TikToker, Mr. Giorgio says he ended up having direct contact with the woman that was alleged to have had some type of affair with Juan Dixon, and he decided to give us the entire breakdown and additional details about all of it, okay? Confirming that the number that the woman had been texting was indeed Juan Dixon's number, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and play a quick clip.
Wow, I guess living in Maryland helps because I was just reached out to by someone who allegedly dated Juan during the end of COVID for over a year. Let's talk about it. So this user who will stay anonymous reached out to me and basically let me know that she dated Juan for over a year during COVID. She sent me a screenshot of where she tagged her location just so that I knew that she was telling the truth. She did mention that Robyn does know, but asked her to not make it public, obviously. She also shared the very last text message that he sent her, which was on January 26th of 2022, so just almost a year ago at this point. She did not respond, but she explains why she stopped talking to him. She also shared a hotel invoice, which I have taken out a lot of the personal information because it did have Juan's personal info, so I've taken that out, but everything else on here is pretty much a normal invoice. This is a real hotel in Maryland, and I believe she was going to send this to producers, but I think she just didn't want to get caught in the crossfire because obviously Robyn knows about this and didn't want her to make it public. But it appears Juan allegedly was doing some weird things. Here's a close-up of the invoice. You can see Juan Dixon's name is on it. She also claimed that the reason why she stopped messing around with him was because he likes to, I guess, meet girls and I guess have his way with them, but then pass them off to his friends, which kind of sounds like ST to me a little bit. It's giving that vibe. She also said that one of the friends, who she did send me who this person was, came to her hotel room door when they, I guess, were going to take her back to the airport to fly back. And she says that the friend exposed himself and said that she needed to, fill in the blank. So that scared her, that turned her off. And so she went back home and she stopped all communication with him. But this is crazy. I'm still digging up some stuff, but I wanted to throw this out there because it does seem like things don't look as they appear on TV, at least from what people are telling me. And this specific person didn't really seem to care if she was kept anonymous because she was just tired of, I guess, seeing the fakeness on TV.
Now, once Giorgio dropped this information, girl, dropped this tea or whatnot, let me tell y'all, social media was in an uproar. I'm talking about fans, haters, everybody, okay, was over here going crazy because people was like, wait a minute, so Miss Karen Huger was right the entire time. Is that what y'all trying to tell us? All right, now understand, we did not get a confirmation from either Juan nor Miss Robyn, and to be honest with you, I didn't even think either of them were actually going to respond to this. I thought they were just going to be quiet like they typically do, if you ask me. Well, it looks like Miss Robyn actually took the opportunity to address the situation on the Reasonably Shady podcast, right? And then also also went on to share additional exclusive details over on their Patreon. But I do have a clip for those of you guys that have yet to listen to the Reasonably Shady podcast to hear what it is Robyn had to say about this alleged mistress. So let me go ahead and press play so we all can get into that tea. All right?
Do you have anything to say?
Okay. So I debated on whether like addressing this because, you know, I don't know. I don't really give attention to stuff like this.
Right.
And
True.
People who want attention. But I figured there were a lot of lies and things being misconstrued.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what I will say, okay, so for y'all, I'm sure all y'all that are listening don't really know exactly what we're talking about because you don't, you know, live on Instagram or whatever, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it might be. Young lady came forward talking about she and Juan dated during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And she shows this like hotel receipt with his name on it.
Right.
Okay. That's like that's legit. I don't know. I mean, that's
the premise of the allegations.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, what I want to, okay. So what I want to say, first of all, I was aware of the situation before we filmed season 7.
Right.
And because this young lady was so pressed to tell me and to tell you, Giselle,
yes,
I assume she told the whole cast.
Right. Because she DM'd me.
Right. So all of season 7, I'm just like waiting for somebody to bring it up.
Because, you know, Karen is good for thinking she got some tea.
Right. Or anybody. I mean, that's our life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just ready for it. I'm waiting for it. And so when we're in Mexico and Ashley tells me that Karen, you know, was talking about us, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is it.
Right.
And she talks about some blonde holding hand, you know, him holding hands with a blonde in Georgetown and looks like Karen. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Okay. Right. Whew. So that was, you know, it was kind of comical to me. So then we go down that road. But however, I was already aware of the situation and I expected to talk about it on season 7.
Right.
Now, the situation when it was presented to me was discussed. It was handled. It was something we had to work through, you know. It was not something that it was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Oh, yeah. No.
However, there are a lot of things that need to be cleared up with what's being said with what allegedly happened, which did not. So,
okay.
And I want to almost maybe share the details for Patreon.
Oh, yeah. We'll give the details on the Patreon.
Yes.
So go ahead on and subscribe.
So I will give more details on Patreon. But what I will say is, yes, Juan was an idiot and communicated with this woman on Instagram, you know, because I mean, whatever. He's bored. He needs attention. He's, you know, it's the pandemic, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
However, they did not date. He did not fly her anywhere.
Right.
And there is a reason why his name is on a hotel receipt, which I will share on Patreon.
Yes. Boom.
And the reason is not because he asked her to come and was volunteered to pay for this hotel room.
Right. The end.
Okay.
Yes. And then I will say several things on Patreon, like, let me catch her outside. Let me catch her out.
All right, so we just heard everything that Robyn had to say, right? Okay, so first of all, Robyn said that she actually was debating on addressing this issue. Girl, I wonder why. I wonder what made you make the decision to decide to address it now, because y'all really don't like to address things at all. So it's just interesting. Maybe you used it for an opportunity to make Reasonably Shady's podcast go more viral or something. IDK, but whatever. Robyn decided to address the situation, and she says that she actually already knew about all of the tea before the season dropped. So when the young lady said to Giorgio that Robyn was aware of the situation, the girl was not lying. Therefore, it makes me wonder, what else was the girl not lying about? She wasn't lying about being in contact with Juan. All right. She wasn't lying about Robyn being aware, but Robyn is alleging that the girl was not telling the full truth about some things. So I'm like, how do you really know? How did you get your information? So I might tiptoe on over there to Patreon to get more of the details, and then I could share it with you guys. But I'm just wondering, how do you know, Robyn? Because maybe everything the girl is saying is fact. Or did you just only get your information from Juan? That's what I want to know. But here's another gag for me. The fact that Robyn was sitting up there actually waiting for her co-host, or at least her castmates, to bring it up on the season, I feel like that was really a problem for me, because a lot of times issues come up out of your own mouth. You don't have to wait for a castmate to bring up something. She was waiting for Karen to bring up something, or whoever. So when Robyn came to her and told her, or not Robyn, but when Ashley came to her and told her that Karen was saying some fly stuff, you know what I'm saying? It was just really interesting. And now it's giving extra fake to me, because she thought that was going to be the moment that all the tea was going to come out about Juan and this other young lady. So what was crazy was the fact that Robyn called Juan about the whole Georgetown situation, but I'm cringing, because it's like, Robyn, you already knew that there was a situation, and you also knew that it was a strong possibility that he was walking around in Georgetown with a whole nother woman. So for you to try to fake punk for the cameras and then call this man, and this man blatantly cusses you the hell out, maybe that anger was coming from him already being caught up previously. So I just kind of feel like I was being played by you and Juan, in my personal opinion, because some things, it's just not clicking, Steven. It's not adding up for me, and y'all definitely played us. And when you were over there trying to get your prenup and stuff with Juan, and worried about cheating in the future, you knew that the reason cheating was so important to you, not only did it happen to you when y'all were married the first time, but it just happened to you during the pandemic, just a year or so ago. So that was valid enough reason for you to come forward and express and tell us what was really going on in your marriage. You feel what I'm saying? That was something that you could have really opened up about, which explained why you wanted to get the prenup. But instead, I personally feel like you definitely deflected this season. You deflected and put all of your energy on Miss Karen. Now, although you did not stand behind Giselle when it came down to the accusations against Chris, you also turned around and said that Candace was sitting up here and she was dramatizing her situation. Well, at least she was dramatizing her situation, because BITCH, you wasn't telling us anything about your situation on reality television. So I definitely, as a viewer, kind of feel robbed. And I am a bit pissed, because now that all of this has come out and you and Juan are now married, and I feel like y'all probably got married because you knew this tea was finna come out or whatever, I feel like you got the opportunity to control the narrative about you and the story with your husband. And y'all didn't give that type of situation to nobody else and their husband on the show. And I just really feel like that's 1000% fucked up. To me, I do not like that. I do not like that. I definitely feel like y'all robbed the viewers. And I also feel like, girl, I don't know if you're going to be up for a pay cut, but if you were, I wouldn't be upset. But I also feel like this may make for a good storyline for you, because Bravo may make you guys relive those moments of what y'all went through, and now you're going to have to address the situation as y'all go into filming. So this may secure your spot being on the show even more than what it may have in the past. And I just feel a way about it. I really do. And then she gonna sit up there talk about he was bored, he needed attention, they didn't date, and he didn't fly her anywhere, and this, and it's like, how you know, Robyn? How you know what that man did? How you know? That just be killing me. Like, I don't know. One is giving every bit of sneaky, and you get what you get, right, Miss Robyn? That's what you wanted. You've been down for him so long. You've been down for him even when y'all got a divorce, and now you're gonna continue to be down for him again now that you're married. So I guess this is for better and for worse. Yikes. We hate to see it, but if that's what y'all want to do, then good luck. Listen, let's go ahead and get into more, because the castmates, Miss Karen and Miss Candace, also came out to speak, as well as Mr. Chris Bassett. So I really want to get into some of the things that they had to say. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, Karen took to Twitter to say, trying to influence the narrative by spinning false truths to achieve your wanted and desired outcome never succeeds. Foolish plot. Then she goes on to say, folks quick to call it my playing nice out of fear of being revealed when they know I'm the one who can do the revealing. Oh, my bad. That's season 8. Let's go, Karen. Do you hear what I say, baby? Let's motherfucking go. You right. That is season 8. So let's get into some things, because y'all was wrong for that. So now it's so interesting, because I feel like y'all green-eyed bandits. And as much as I used to love y'all in the beginning, girl, times have truly changed, okay? Y'all been out here running amok, and now it's appearing as though the whole cast gonna be on y'all ass versus y'all being on the cast ass. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be very, very interesting, honey. Now, Chris Bassett also came to the front and he says, so wait, there were truths that were omitted and not filmed during our season. As a cast, we chose to tell falsehoods and lies about innocent people all season long, and now we are changing for the truth? What the I'm good on this bullshit. Then he goes on to say, just so we are clear, Giselle and Ashley knew about this before the season, didn't bring it up. That's your friend, cool, but chose to lie as a distraction? I'm so not mad at Robyn, but the others are trash for that. I have to agree, Chris, they are definitely trash for that, especially Miss Motherfucking Ashley Darby, because you are the main one that's good at running around telling people's business, Miss Ma'am. So you mean to tell me that you could not run around and tell that tea and that business? I feel like Ashley probably was one of the people that acted like she didn't know anything about what Karen was talking about, knowing the whole time you really knew what the hell was really going on. So that right there confirms, as I've been telling y'all this whole season, is giving plots and is giving motherfucking plans and is giving that Robyn, Giselle, and Ashley all sat down as a collective about how they were going to focus on this person, that person, this person, that person, to make sure that none of Robyn's tea came out, and y'all filed for that, and y'all are going to be in for a very interesting season, and I can't wait to see Dr. Wendy Oselfo get on that ass, baby. Yes, ma'am. But let's keep going because there's more. Miss Candace Diller has some things to say as well. Candace says, wow, a thread. Our boss's favorite clapback when we're playing coy about certain aspects of our lives is, you're on a reality show about your life. There is an expectation that doing no harm, we show up to this platform as our authentic selves. Facts. Let's keep going. And while we reserve the right to be judicious about what we share, there is a special brand of audacity attached to individuals who will knowingly bury the lead in exchange for damning and salacious lies that stand to cause irreparable harm to innocent people. It tarnishes the integrity of the premise of our show. It tap dances on the intelligence of the viewership that champion our stories and discover their own parallels in our lives. And when it's not that deep, it simply occludes amusement. It's not entertaining. It's not interesting. It's whack. Why be open or genuine or authentic when the least of us can rob our viewers of the truth and continually be rewarded for it? What are we doing? And a better question, what are y'all watching? Child, I see where you're going with this, Miss Candace girl. This is definitely your get back at the ladies, and I'm not even mad at it, okay? I'm not even mad at it. Basically, what Miss Candace is calling for is for the ladies to be reprimanded, okay? If not Miss Giselle, definitely use Robyn as an example. Giselle does this time and time again, so I do feel like this is a shot at Giselle. I feel like Giselle has a lot of stuff going on in her life that she does not like to share with the general public, and I don't think that is fair for her to continue to be on the platform and reap the benefits and not share. I don't think that that is fair. I also don't think it's fair for her to not bring a lot to the episodes or to the season, but she gets to sit in the first chair next to Andy when there are so many other ladies that are deserving of that position. I also don't think that it's fair for production to continue to edit around Giselle and in her favor versus other people, because it's countless of times where we've heard that the reunion did not go so well for Giselle, but we never see any of the clips when she was upset or she was crying. We never saw that. Just like Andy sat up here recently and did an interview on Watch What Happens Live with Miss Candace, and he also told her that it didn't go well for Giselle. But are we going to see that? Stop telling us what happened if you're not going to show it, and stop showing us stuff in the preview trailer if you're not going to show it on the season. Like, girl, okay, the people is kind of getting a bit tired. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm going to go ahead and ease back. I'm going to let you guys hop down in these comments comments and let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, I'm probably going to hop and skip over to Patreon and just see. I did get some cliff notes on what the ladies really said on Patreon, but I'm likely going to go back, listen to the episode, some additional tea, and then I'll come back and bring you guys a video so you don't have to listen to it or whatever, okay? So I'll probably do that a little bit later. Definitely be sure to like the video if you have yet to do so. Also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be sure to catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.